Okay, in this video I'm going to talk about where study abroad programs come from. And so in the center here I've got programs, as you can see, and what usually happens is we're going to say a U.S. college and a foreign college. I should use schools. So let's say a U.S. school and a foreign school, and by school I mean higher education school, get together and they start talking about setting up a program. So what they do is they form an agreement. Now, this happens within institutions all the time. That was way too high. Where different delegations from schools will start conversations one way or the other about possibly doing an exchange program. So students from, let's say Germany, we'll use Germany, and students from the US will be at their respective schools, and the administrators of the schools will talk about doing an exchange program. And some of the things that they look at is, are schools compatible as far as the majors we have and what our focuses are. So if a school is big on, let's say, just for something easy, let's say it's a school in the US, well, no, we've got Germany. If it's German language that a school wants to send and find a place that has a strong German program, that might be a good place to go back and forth, because German students might want to learn English, and the students here might want to learn German. So that's something that might give them a cause to do an agreement. And schools do agreements for all sorts of reasons, and it can be hit or miss. Some programs, it looked like it was a good idea on paper, but it didn't work out for whatever reason. So when you're looking for a study abroad program, know that at some point it was negotiated between your school in the USA and the foreign school how study abroad, or the program and the terms. And the terms can include things like classes, just for our purposes, just for simple, your housing, your meals or your meal plan, and different things in the structure and other arrangements that have been made between the two universities to send people back and forth. So in this one, and the other thing too is you want to realize is that sometimes programs for whatever reason are lopsided, meaning they'll have one year, let's say, 12 students from Germany and none from the US, because sometimes programs favor one school or the other. So whereas it might be on the website there, they might not have a lot of students going because it may cost more for students going from the US to go to Germany, and Germany might have a scholarship program or something to send students to the US. So you never know why programs have as many students as they do. But when it comes to looking for programs, you've got to know that at some point an agreement was made, and the structure of the program is based on whatever the two schools came to find out and came to an agreement on. And you want to make sure, if programs are usually pretty full, it's because they're usually popular and the agreement works out well for the students going. If programs don't have a lot for whatever reason, and it may be based on just the credits in the classes, or the students from the United States don't have strong enough German background for whatever the school is looking for. So that's just something to be aware of, is that programs, when they make them up, they're not always, I don't want to say in the best interest of students, but they may not be in your best interest to go. So you really want to find out how many students usually go on these different programs, and as much about the history of them as you can. Now, some colleges, they're very, I don't want to say lax, but the agreements have been around for a long time and they just haven't been updated because they've had other things to do. So when you're looking at programs, just make sure that you want to find one that has good options here. and it's really very difficult to research, but just know that it's there.